I got out of bed 20 minutes ago, so you know it's going to be a strong video today. Oh, hello voice. Come on voice, it's daytime, we need to use this today. Warm up. So hello everybody, it's the 5th of May. I can't believe it's May already. Where is the year just falling away to? Welcome along to MusicVlog, your weekly roundup of all things charts music, as hosted by me and as researched by me, so it might be a bit shaky. I'm joking, everything is 100% factually sound all the time. So in these videos, I look at this week's chart movement and what's happening in this week's chart positions. I'll also be reviewing new releases, brand new tracks that have just been released this week, and we'll also be looking forward in the calendar to future releases and what dates you need to put in your diary for your favourite songs that are going to be released. So let's start off by looking at the charts. Well, we had a brand new #1 in the chart this week, and it was, of course, as I predicted, Calvin Harris and Summer went straight in. New entry at #1, top of the chart. It was so predictable because it's called summer, and British people love to trick themselves into thinking it's summer, or as soon as the temperature goes into double digits, they're like, oh my god, it's summer, get the dance music out. So Calvin, being the musical genius that he is, has come up with this absolutely amazing summery dance tune, and he's released it at just the right time. Bank holiday, summerish weekend. So he's just a genius, and he's managed to smash it and got himself another #1. This is his 6th UK #1 now. So this is shaped up for quite an odd top 4, because it seems to be that new songs are sort of queuing up to become #1, and then every week that a next song comes along that is #1 and knocks everything down one place. So all the recent #1s have gone down one place each and are quite neatly lined up in the top 4. So last week's #1, Mr. Probs and Waves, is now at 2. The week before that, Kaiser and Hideaway was at #1, and that now sits at 3. And the week before that, Sigma and Nobody to Love was at #1, and that now sits at 4. So next week, will there be another song released, and then Calvin Harris will shuffle down one, and everyone else will just shuffle down. It's like the most British chart ever. It's like really polite queuing system, even in our top 5 of single sales. Also noticeable in the chart, there was a new entry this week at number 27 from Michael Jackson and Justin Timberlake. Now this is one of those albums that is released after the artist's death. This one is called Escape, and it features 8 unheard songs from Michael Jackson, which were recorded between 1983 and 1999. Now this is the first single to be released from that album. It's called Love Never Felt So Good. And I think off the top of my head it was recorded in the 1980s and then sort of remastered last year with Justin Timberlake on the co-vocals. Now I really like it. I think the 1980s was probably the best era for Michael Jackson music, and it's really old school MJ, and it's so nice to hear. So it's really weird but really nice to hear old material that's new. So you can tell it's definitely from the 1980s. You can tell it's Michael Jackson's voice from that era, and it's just incredible. The only thing is, Justin Timberlake alongside 1980s Michael Jackson, I've got mad respect for Timberlake, and I think he's an absolutely amazing singer, but he just sounds so weak next to 1980s MJ, which is quite possibly the best male vocalist that has ever existed. So I think anyone would sound weak next to 1980s MJ, to be fair. Right, it's time to have a look at this week's releases. These are the brand new songs for this week, and they will be battling it out for a decent position in the chart on Sunday coming. Now, if you've not heard some of the songs that I'm talking about because they're quite new and they might have slipped under your radar, then in the description box down below, I have put links to all the YouTube official videos for every single that I'm reviewing. So if I say, next up, this song, and you've not heard it, scroll down to the description, click on the link, watch the video, make up your own opinion, and then listen to my opinion. So first up is the new release from Pitbull and G.R.L. It's called Wild Wild Love. Now I've got a track record of not being a massive Pitbull fan, but I also don't write any song off just because of the artist. And unfortunately, this is not one of the songs that books the trend with the quality of the artist. It's another Pitbull song, and it's crap, to be honest. The chorus is not the worst thing ever, and it does open with the chorus. I kind of got this with Timber as well, with Kesha. When Kesha's chorus opened the song, I was like, this isn't terrible. But then Pitbull came in and it's just like, It's pretty much the same thing here, to be honest. And the chorus isn't awful, it's not great, it's kind of over auto-tuned, but then Pitbull's verses, lyrically, absolutely atrocious. They're weird, they're pervy, and it's just getting a bit odd now, Pitbull. Musically as well, the instrumental is extremely weak, repetitive, very predictable. It's overall really not great at all, not looking brilliant. I think lyrically, it's probably the weakest current song that is about at the moment. So I'm going to give it 1 out of 5 stars. Next up is Jamie XX. He's released a double A-side, which is kind of not done nowadays, but he's just that indie. So you might know him as one half of the band The XX. His new songs are called Girl and Sleep Sound. So I listened to them both and I quite like them. It's quite out there, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit too experimental. It's quite lengthy, sort of unconventional dance music. It's like, I think Sleep Sound is like 6.5 minutes of random dance beats that don't seem to follow any pattern. Don't get me wrong, just because it's unconventional, it doesn't mean it's bad, but I did get a little bit bored about halfway through Sleep Sound. Girl is better. I do prefer Girl, but again, it just didn't quite engage with me the way that songs should. So for that reason, not terrible, but a little bit too odd. 3 out of 5 stars. But it is good that he's putting some variety out there. So we've had a 1-star review, a 3-star review. Let's get some balance in the mix. Next up on our releases is Coldplay and their next song, which is called Star Full of Skies. It's from the album Ghost Stories, which is out on the 19th of May. And something that you'll probably notice if you listen to the song, it's produced by Avicii, which Avicii, to me, anything he touches, gold dust immediately. He's never done any wrong in my books, and he's just released absolute solid hit after hit after hit. And I think he is one of the main reasons that dance music is sort of breaking its way into the mainstream, and it's doing so well in the chart at the minute. I think Avicii is to thank for that. Now, you might think Coldplay, Avicii, you know, sort of alternative rock and European dance music, how do they mix? Surely it's a clash and it's not a complementary mix. Well, I think they probably struggled with the production of this track because it seems like they're from two completely different worlds. But after what is probably a lot of hard work, they've got this absolutely incredible, beautiful blend of this sort of alternative British modern rock and roll and the European dance side of it. And it's just blended so beautifully. It's got this trademark Coldplay piano riff and a sort of subtle guitar work, which Coldplay, their sound is just absolutely renowned for. But then towards the chorus, there's an instrumental break and it's just got Avicii's drop and the beat. And it's incredible. You can tell how excited I am just talking about it. It's an absolute beautiful mix, and I just wish more things like this were mixed together more often. It's just incredible. So for me, the new single from Ghost Stories, 5 out of 5 stars. And it would have been this week's star pick. It was such a struggle to pick this week's star pick. However, Foxes has a new single out. So this is the latest single from up-and-coming British solo female vocalist Foxes. She's from Southampton, lives in London at the minute because she's one of their music types. And she's been slowly seeping in over the past couple of years into the chart and into the mainstream. And she had massive success as the featured vocalist on Zed's track Clarity. And she also had moderate chart success with her other singles such as Youth, which I absolutely adore. So this is her final single release before the release of her album Glorious on the 12th of May. This is her debut studio album, so she's still in very, very early days. And this new track is called Holding On to Heaven. Now it writes about what I think is the most underrepresented part of a relationship. So there's loads of songs about falling in love, about the sort of hesitation, does she like me back? Are we going to end up together? And of course, how many love songs are there about being in love and then breakup songs as well? It seems that the whole relationship process is sort of written in song form. But then there's this little area, this little niche that Foxes writes about so beautifully. She writes about being in a relationship, but sort of knowing about the inevitable end, but not wanting it to happen. So the relationship is nearing the end, and you know it's over, you know it's not worth keeping up and not keeping alive, but a little part of you wants to keep going and wants to stay together. We heard about it in Clarity. You know, if our love is tragedy, then why are you my clarity? If this really isn't working and it's not worth it, then why are you the only thing that makes sense when you look at me? That's what she tackled in Clarity, and so beautifully. She wrote about it in a not so well known song called Echo as well. It's just this area of a relationship which is so emotionally charged, but seems to be quite underwritten about. And Foxes just captures this essence of this time so beautifully. And that is the subject of the new single, Holding On To Heaven. It's in the title, Holding On To Heaven, holding on to what was beautiful. But ultimately, she's got to accept that heaven is no longer reachable. It's an absolutely heartbreaking song, and Fox's songwriting and lyrics is something that just echoes with me, sorry about the Foxes pun, so personally, and something that I listen to and go, oh my god, this is incredible. So I can't wait, absolutely cannot wait for the release of Glorious. And I've already got my sneaky pre-ordering for the album a couple of months ago. But Foxes, Holding On To Heaven, available to buy now, and it is my star pick this week with 5 out of 5 stars. Right, the final section of this vlog, let's talk about the future releases. What is forthcoming? Well, next week on the 11th of May, Rita Ora is bringing her comeback single. Let's see if she can make the impact that she once did. Her new single is called I Will Never Let You Down. On the 18th of May, Clean Bandit are bringing out their new single Extraordinary. And also Lana Del Rey is releasing West Coast, which I know so many people are excited about, including me. Fuse O.D.G is finally teaming up with Sean Paul. How did this not happen ages ago? Their new single is called Dangerous Love, and Sam Smith will be releasing his new one, Money on My Mind. His new track, his new track is called Stay With Me. So it's going to be a strong week for releases the week after next. Next week though, looking a bit pants. So there you go, that was this week's music vlog. I hope you enjoyed all my reviews. If you have any opinions of your own, I absolutely urge you to share them with me. And you've got to listen to this week's 5-star picks. I mean, Coldplay, damn, their new single, man. You got to get on it. The album is shaping up to be one of the best albums ever. And Foxes as well. Right in the feels. Foxes, if you're watching, right here every time. The amount of times that I've had long night drives listening to your songs for Foxes, just crying to myself. I mean, what? I was just making that up, just joking, obviously. Well, thank you very much for watching. Music Vlog will be back again next Monday, and I'll have a couple more video releases for you before then, so do subscribe and share my channel if you like the things that are coming out of my mouth and into your ears. What a lovely image to finish on. Bye!